Hi there. Welcome. Half an hour early, which will confuse people, I think, in some cases. But one has joined it. Could it be Richard Lyon? Could it be Shelley? Could it be Brenda? Who could it be? Who could it be now? Oh, boy. One thing about a 10 o'clock start is I notice how little prep time I have. You made it again there, Richard Lyon. Yo, Jack. He says that Elvis Presley is the real old Blue Eyes and not the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra. Got a nice message from Richard last night that he was watching the last week's Sunday service. A new camera angle showing those baby blues, right, Richard? Well, there you are. Very thankful for the people that just come in out of the ether. Tell me, when you're in the ether, how does it feel? Is it Is it like misty? Do you feel like you could catch a cold? Or do you feel like you're going to get the milk? Like you got the milk, you go sleepy in the ether. Do you fear a dental procedure about to come upon you? Good evening, Melissa VD. I thought you took some medicine, some penicillin to clear that up. Good evening, Jack, and everybody on this warm May evening. Yeah, it's actually getting warm here now. Not really, but it's going to 60 degrees right now. It says, but I got the fan on and the window open, so you might hear a speeding motorcycle or something. Kay from K Jewelers, headquarters in Kentucky. Hi, Kay. Hey, Jack. Belinda Lemon, really, Margaret. Hey, y'all. Patricia Spears. I used to know Mr. and Mrs. Spears. I think they were my landlord and landlady back in the 70s. That sounds right. On Ridgewood Avenue, 48 Ridgewood Avenue, if you want to know to be exact. Judy Wright, not Betty Wright, the cleanup woman, is here, as is Mike Fortner. What else did you call me? I can't go past that. Hey, hack. Oh, thanks a lot there, Mike Fortner. I'm just an old radio hack, huh? I gotcha. Hi, Jack in the Box. Yes, I used to go there when I lived in South Carolina. I get my sweat tie and usually tacos from the Jack in the Box, I believe. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Cheryl Larson. Good evening, Jack from California. That's how your ex-governor used to call it, California. Susan Safati, not John Gotti, is here. Good evening, Jack and gang. Sandra, this is a new Sandra or Sandra Lavely. If there's a way to mispronounce it, I'll find it. Hello, I caught alive. It's been a while. I don't remember that last name, I don't think, because I would have remembered being unsure of how to pronounce it. 113 degree heat index. I told you to get that place in Sanford, Maine, but you wouldn't listen. If you want a really cheap house in Maine, you're going to have to go up to like Calais, but it's better pronounced Calais. It sounds so much more exotic. Right next to what is it, St. John's Borough, Canada, something like that. But you can't go over there unless you have your I wonder how much business has been lost to Canada because the Maine people can't come in because they don't have their passport. How silly. Hello, Jack and everyone. Jimmy, maybe. My kiddos jumped in the pool today. It was hot. That's right. You're not 75 like the rest of us, are you? I forget that. David Brian Lawson has retracted his statement. He thought better of it. Stephen Garvis, not Steve Garvey, is here. Hi, Jack from Northwest Indiana. Beverly Shockley. Shockley. That's not what those brand of products was, Shockley, right? It was something like that back in the 70s and 80s. Uh, from Willards, Maine, really? That's cool. I like that. Have I heard of Willards, Maine? Willards with a S, huh? Kim Lackey, who's not a lackey, by the way. Hello, Jack and friends. Um, so yeah, Deborah Lake is here. How are you, Deborah Lake? I always ask that. And of course, I think you'd email me if there was, Jack the Fair Guy, FAIR, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. But here is fine as well. Hi, Jack and Karen, everyone. I hope your week was good. God bless everyone. I never realized how much chores there would be in retirement and how it would seem like a job. Can anybody relate to me when I say that? You're technically retired. This is fun, but there is work in this because um, you have to prepare. I never made it into the Boy Scouts because I was a fraudulent Cub Scout. But if I had, I'd be raising my hand, promising to be prepared. Right? Don't they do that? I never got to wear the green uniform. I couldn't get past the blue and the yeller. And I was fraudulent because half the projects I didn't know how to do that you were supposed to do to get your badge, to get your bear badge. And I thought that meant you don't wear your clothes. But then I found out, no, it involves doing a woodwork project. And let's face it, it's not my talent. I don't know how to work with my hands. I will avoid all humor there, Paul McCreary. I don't want to get myself in trouble. Hello, Mr. Jack. How are you? Karen Phillips is here. Is Gene Phillips here already, too? That's right. We have two Phillips now. How about throwing in Ronnie Phillips from heaven? He was a big shot around here. Phillips Confectionery, where I would go when I was a little boy to get a carton of Kent cigarettes for Betty. I should have told her, Betty. She'd call up Ronnie and say, "I'm sending little Jackie up to get a carton of cigarettes." He'd say, "Okay." I think I paid $6, $7 for that carton of cigarettes back then. Saunders Weber. We had a Weber store here. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Sandra. I'll get it right. It's very nice. Sandra Weber is hi from Nashville. Yes. Music City. Do you know Caitlin Caparelli and her boyfriend Chip? Can't be that many people in Nashville, can you? You must know them. If you ever get a chance to see Caitlin, that's with a C, Caparelli at a Nashville club, go. You won't be sorry. She was on The Voice for 5 weeks. She sang a duet with Christine, Christine, Christine Aguilera. She did because Christine loved Caitlin, and Caitlin is a real talent. Go on to Spotify or YouTube Music and look up the song "Wavin' Hello to Summer." It's coming back into style now. "Wavin' Hello to Summer" or "It's Impossible" by Caitlin Caparelli and others and others. Hey, Jack, you are out of focus. I thought so too. You know, just as I was getting ready to and the camera's been working good. I was going to get a 4G, but you need 4Gs. No, it's not that expensive. $60. Uh, any better? Probably not, right? You have to get that 4G. Um, Jane Justice is here. I have something important to say, so I need all attention here. Charmin Brinson, hello from Georgia. Jack, you are looking like you're losing a lot of weight. I've been out there doing my walking and curbing my insatiable appetite. I have. Um, I got to look good for Jimmy Sturr tomorrow, my man crush. That's what Karen says he is. And I do love Jimmy, so I guess he's my man crush, but it's not a sexual thing. It's an admiration thing that I've had since 1969 when I was 14. Sorry for clearing my throat without hitting the kill switch. So here's the deal. I can't say much, but we've been doing over a year of live shows here on YouTube, and we've been on since 2016 with the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. Um, Get a pen and paper ready too if you have it, or be ready to type something on your phone. So I have said many times that I am very grateful to YouTube for the opportunity of a worldwide voice. That's how I've always felt, and that's how I feel today. People say, "Oh, if you say some conservative stuff, they'll censor you." They've never censored me. I try to be responsible when I do it. And we've been covering this Bob Joyce topic since 2018, and it's got us a worldwide voice, worldwide fan base, albeit small. It's enthusiastic, and I'm very grateful for that. There's a slight chance I could lose the channel. I don't think it's going to happen, but there is a slight chance I could lose the channel. And it has nothing to do with Bob Joyce, and it has nothing to do with the trolls. It has something to do with me not reading the fine print on something. Um, like you can't read a novel on YouTube, chapter by chapter. You can't do that. That's not one of the things you can do, I guess. So I'm in touch with Google, and I know this is confusing you. What book are you talking about? All that. I can't go into it any further. And this is not a business day, um, so hasn't been taken down. So I'm very grateful to Google for that. That I'm here to talk to you tonight. And I'm the type of person, just like if Pastor Bob Joyce said, stop doing the topic, I'd stop doing the topic. If Google says, no, 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 that's over the line, read the community guidelines better, I would do it. So, as I get older, as Karen tells me, sometimes I get my mind goes astray when I'm reading something that's important, and I can't do that. Like I didn't tell all of one of my stories. So, I think we'll be okay. But if not, remember these call letters, WOATradio.com. That's Willard Oldies and Talk. WOAT, not the worst of all times. I didn't realize when I picked this from GoDaddy that I was picking the acronym for the worst of all times. I didn't remember that. This shows you that I'm a full tilt bozo. But the WOATradio.com, that's been sitting there too long, whether, everything is fine with YouTube, which I certainly hope it is. Too long have I been paying for a website and not using it. It's not anything going on there now, but there would be. WOATradio.com. Just think of worst of all times or Willard Oldies and Talk.com. That'll be coming. Okay. Okay. Ah, what a beautiful day, Shell. Oh, it's nighttime now. Did you have nice weather? You did? Kind of yucky here, but it didn't really rain too much, maybe a little sprinkles. Tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful. We're going to be in the 80s by Tuesday or Wednesday. So here we go. Hi, Patrick Phyllis. Hey, Jack and everyone. I hope your week was good. I said that already. And what's up, Jack, my friend from North Carolina? Hi from Nashville, says Sondra. Yeah. Charmin Brinson. Hello from Georgia. What part of Georgia are you in, Charmin? Anywhere near Stone Mountain, perhaps? That's where Karen's grandkids are. Flo. Hey, Flo from the Supremes. How are you? No products laugh out loud. What was that? Shackley in the 70s? That was a big thing. Something like that. Shackley, I think. But you're Shockley. What has shocked you so much? Maryland, not Maine. Did I say Maine before? We have a couple. Is it the Whitmers from Maine? Um, Jeannie Thompson. Hello, everybody. Darlene Koberstein, or is it Stein? That everybody that has their name in with a Stien, somebody wonders whether it's Steen or Stein. I would go with Stein, but I could be wrong, Barbara Kendall. You know, I've been before. I've been told that. There are women that would testify make out an affidavit and everything. Hi, Jack and everybody, says Barbara. So glad you're here, Barbara. Elizabeth Gilbert. Beautiful day here in West Texas, and you went fishing. Well, does that mean you're an investigative reporter, or you actually want to kill those poor innocent fish that are just trying to have a nice day? If you eat them, or do you throw them back? Karen's ex-boyfriend there captures these big fishies in places like, I guess, Montana, and then goes off into other parts, and but just throws them back. I'm glad he does that, but you just traumatize the fish, and now they're going to be having to go to therapy, and they don't have health insurance. Those fish, they don't have health insurance. Marty Greco, hijack from Oklahoma. Um, Hit the like button. Thank you, Susan Safadi. 35 people have. Hit the like if you like anything. We just lost somebody. We had 80 and went from 79. What did I say, Betty Johnson? Love your show. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Tommy Kendall. Tommy Kendall here from Tupelo, Mississippi. Love your show. I believe I could be live from WOATradio.com. Please write that down. WOATradio.com. GoDaddy creation. Well, it's my creation, but from them. You had it right the first time. Steen? Did I say Steen before Stein? See, you think my mind power could ascertain whether I said Steen or Stein first? I can't do that. Cheryl Everhart, hijacking Valley. David Brian Lawson, Steen, Sten, like that, or Stein like the beer mug. But Steins are so nice that you don't want to just, you can put the root beer in it or you can put something else in it. I love beer steins, but I hate beer. Oh, Jack, I'll pray for you and the channel. Don't lose heart. Have hope and faith. Amen. Well, but I'm a flawed human being, so sometimes that just feels weird asking God for that. If you stay with God, yeah, well, you got to see first, in order, people, what's that famous thing people say? He's backslidden. So and so is backslidden. Usually that is an incorrect statement. They had never climbed the hill to begin with. When you go into a nursery, I'm not talking the flowers, but when you go into like a day nursery where all the little kids are playing, they're in the baby stage, many of them. That's where most Christians die, just so you know. Just so you know. Some get a little higher, first grade, second grade, third grade. When I meet someone, whether it be a pastor or whatever, that seems to be much higher than that, I'm in awe. I'm in awe because they are proving what Jesus Christ can do, what the Holy Spirit can do, what God the Father can do when you get out of his way. You almost stepped on a cottonmouth. I told you not to drink before the show, Margaret, but you won't listen to me. For yesterday, before the water came up under my mouth. Well, no, there's this thing called bottled water you could buy. I've been watching Ribbon Snakes. Yeah, she's definitely been drinking. I've been watching Ribbon, and then there's a comma, Snakes Chasing Minnows. Is that the minnow from Gilligan's Island? In the morning for breakfast. What? Yeah, she's gone to the hard stuff now. It's not surprising to me, Margaret, that your favorite show is Moonshiners. But then I'm very partial to the Moonshiners show myself, hoping for season 14. I'm a little unsure though. Day Plunkett. No, D Plunkett. I'm not wearing glasses, notice. I Jack. It's a B. It's a B. Oh, I see you wanted to be polite and I put the I. It's a biatch to get old. I hate it. Well, yeah, I suppose that depends on how you feel and what you're dealing with. Joseph, Jack, you slowly but surely are building a great channel. Keep it up. Well, I'll try. I'll try. I'm brought to you by Google, whom I love. I really do. I'm not saying that just so they continue to like me. But I guess I made a mistake that I shouldn't have made, and it has nothing to do with Bob Joyce or any trolls. Church is for sinners, not for the righteous. Yeah, that's true, Margaret. I mean, if there were any perfect churches out there, and we one of us joined it, it would no longer be perfect. Bob 1974, not Bob 1964. He wasn't even thought of then. Hello there, lonely boy. How are you? Um, Patty Ford, Jack Ford's wife. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do you know who Jack Ford is? Huh? He was on the court TV and then ABC, and um, he. Do I want to say he was Jerry Ford's son? I'm not sure if I want to say that. Maybe I'd be in error, Elizabeth Gilbert. Snakes are nasty little dudes, all the way back to the Garden of Eden. They're they're uh, they're 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 crafty. They're liars. Some of those snakes look rather pretty, though, don't they? Some of them, and that's the whole point. Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. Jack, this scroll up. I sent you a message. She sent me a message. Marianne Rossi says, "Hello, Jack. I just sent you an email a little while ago, but I might be able to make it at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock at the Rock." Okay. Um, yes, don't do it at the beginning because I'm rushing to get there, and you really got to try to. You'll end up in the back. You can't see anything. It's those seniors are tough. Those, like, I'm not a senior, but I'm talking about sometimes the 80-year-olds. Don't you step in front of them. They'll hit you with their cane or walker. Um, so I don't want to be out of that poker hall too long, Marianne Rossi, because I could miss a magical moment next to me as opposed to the parking lot. But you have an event with your grandchildren, and I totally understand that. So Stein's it. Okay. Um, Darlene Love. Very good, very good, very good. Hi, Jack. Yep, I got that one. Um, so yeah, who else have we got here? Um, Vivian says, "Hi, Jack. Hello, Vivian. Welcome, welcome. Is that like your rec room, your den, where you were watching me on the big telly? Sent me a nice picture. Maybe I can find it for you on my phone. Show everybody Richard's house, and then I will show you some of his bank cards and tell you his PIN number. Um, just let me know if you're going, and then we could work it out for time before 6 o'clock. Yeah, see, this is it. I don't know if the thing ends at 5 or 6. It doesn't say the end time. Just if the thing ends at 5 or 6, it doesn't say the end time, just the beginning. But we'll work it out. We'll work it out. And if it's a certain time, you may be able to just walk right in at the end there. They don't hold somebody at the door to the end. That would make no sense. Just tell them you're Polish and you'll get right in. Polish Italian. See, you married an Italian guy, but you're from Warsaw. Say that, and say Virginia, something like that. That's close to a greeting. Someone thought that I was Polish. I think that was Tiffany. I am not Polish. My mom was born in Liverpool, England, but I love the Polish people. And I love some Polish music. But a lot of people say polka's not from Poland, but there definitely is strong roots to it there. Uh, Rivers are nice. I grew up near the Hudson River, lower part, New York. Yeah, I forget exactly where you are because obviously, although I'm not too near Newburgh, New York, where the river is. Um, see, in order to get in order to get to the swanky restaurants on the Hudson River in Newburgh, New York, you literally have to go through the gangster ghetto and then down the hill to the parking lots, and also at the edge of that hill is the police station. Then there's all these swanky restaurants. I saw Jimmy Stir there at Billy Joe's Rib Works. I wonder if that's still there or if it's been replaced. That was a great Jimmy Stir show. It was. Hello, Angelina. Hello, all. Denver here. Yes. Now, you've had snow as late as June or maybe even July once, right, Angelina? I don't know how high up you are or how high you get when you are there. I almost missed you. No, don't do that. But hello, replay crowd. You're just as important. You can comment right here. Without going before someone makes another prediction, let me do it. Let me do it right here now. We asked the poll for 2 or 3 shows. I went to each show. Um, it's long been rumored that Pastor Bob Joyce is writing his life story or has written it. There has been a rumor that it won't be released until his death. So we asked the question, do you believe, would you like to see the book released prior to his death, soon as it's done, or very soon? Probably after August 11th. I wouldn't do it before that. And or should he wait till after his death to release that? And you guys supplied various reasons why he should wait. So the final results of that poll is 33 say yes, he should release it now, and 11 say no, he should not release it. 33 yes, 11 no. The voting is closed on that, but don't worry, I have a brand new poll for you, Jane Justice. Do you and Karen dance the polka? We wait for a slow dance, and every once in a while she'll do that. Depends if I'm being a good boy. Um, I wish I did, though. I see them having so much fun out there, but Karen's got ankle problems and stuff, and that's not going to work. She deals with a number of chronic pain issues. So tomorrow, if she just doesn't feel like going, I'm not going to drag her. If she feels that it's okay for me to go, she knows how much I love Jimmy, and she's just going to relax. This is what happened. It looked like there could be as much of 5 of us at the table, and it could be just me. That's what could happen. Um, Sean and Norma, my great friends, are not sure if they're going. If they are, they'll let me know tomorrow morning. I don't ask questions. I'm glad for the time when I do see them because we always have a good time. They're huge Jimmy Stir fans too. And we met at Poco Weekend in 2022, and we've been good friends, kind of entertainment friends, really. Sean and I have ate at the diner and had a man-to-man lunch. But so they may not be going, and they may not be going to next week's show. If they don't go to the Pennsylvania show next week on the 26th, a Sunday, I probably won't either, but I will be going to Clark, New Jersey, I'm pretty sure, tomorrow. So we'll see how Karen feels as to whether she should accompany me. I went to Florida. I went to the Port St. Lucie show in Florida, which is always like the first Saturday in March. He's just been to Plant City that Thursday to open up the Strawberry Festival. And then this year he went to St. Petersburg, Florida on the Friday to play the Polish club there. Wish I would have been there. And then on to Port St. Lucie and then flies home. And the band, some of them fly and some of them take the big bus with all the equipment. Beautiful bus, the Jimmy Stir bus. But, it was really without Karen and in Florida, I don't know anybody there. Jimmy was very warm to me, gave me a hug, and, it was nice, but I did feel sort of out of sorts. Still a little foggy, right? Yeah. I don't know why. If everything is good, I'll get that 4G microphone, though. Hello, Laura Shadley. I think you said something interesting that I wanted to comment on in a recent one of your comments on one of the other videos, but now I have to think about what it was. I thought I'd just remember it. How stupid was I, right? I didn't even tell my sensual testing story. I led up to it in the last live show, but I didn't tell it. So, welcome, Linda Justice. Had a real bad scare this evening. Heard Lightning Strike by Lou Christie, loudest I've ever heard. One hit near the Speedway, the Orange County Fair Speedway. No, at about 1,000 and about 1,000 homes without power. They canceled the races. Is that stock car races, horse racing, dog racing? What kind of racing is it? Hello, Susan Carter, not Linda Carter. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, okay, the sound is good, but we're a little, I think a little foggy in the camera. That guy Six is here. Plot twist. Jack is Elvis. I guess this is going to be your standard open from now on. um, yeah. See, think of it like you're Kevin Hart, but you're not doing a show in a theater like at Bethel Woods outside or something. You're doing the Tonight Show and you're telling a joke. That's pretty much the last time you can tell that joke. That's why when comedians like Kevin Hart go out to do their shows, they have a no camera rule, and people get mad, and they try to really enforce that. I don't know. They warned you, and I think if you have a cell phone, but see, that leads to things like, what if my children are sick and I don't have my phone and all this, you know? What did we ever do before phones? I can tell you what we did before cell phones. We said to our boss, I would have called in sick, but I couldn't find a phone. I couldn't find a phone. I would have called you, honey, to tell you I was going to be 3 hours late from work, but I couldn't find a phone. Uh, I got a flat way out there on Upper Mountain Road, and he was at the Gritty Bar is where he was, or something that rhymes with it. I don't know, Gary. Do you know Gary Hill? You used to try to beat me up in school, Gary. I'm not sure I like you. Or was it your brother Jerry? Hi, Jack. I'm back. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. That is so nice. It doesn't matter, slow dance or not, it's romantic. I got a ways to go before romantic, and that's all sort of on me. But it's a tough thing, because um, how can I put this, Karen Gagnon? Um, why do I do this to myself? No, I'm not going to start crying. Um, when everything you say, you have to be careful what you say because you can never take it back. So if you complain about a certain situation, like you all know that I would like to live in Florida, not right now though. I really want to be bi-coastal, and that has nothing with my sexuality, It has nothing to do with that. It means that maybe Maine in the summer, around May, and then down to Florida around November as soon as we're sure that the hurricane season is over. The last hurricane season, Richard Lyon was sitting he didn't have the condo that he has now. He had another home. It blew him all the way in to Charlotte, North Carolina. He had to take a bus back to his house, and there wasn't much left. Jimmy maybe is here. Brenda Noyes, yes, yes, yes. And no, see, you're too late with the vote there, D. We have given the final results, but let's do a brand new poll. But you can still, of course, state your opinion. We're not trying to wire your mouth, your jaw shut, or anything like that. Adam Davidson, welcome. How you feeling, Adam? You're going to be having some surgery soon, right? Hope all went well with your doctor visit. Uh, well, this week I didn't go to a doctor. I went to a 22-year-old blonde girl, right? I'm going to tell this story now because it totally slipped my mind. Now, how do I tell this and it not seem like I'm going out of my way to be saucy? So she's adorable. She's 22 years old, and she's kind of new at this testing for this Doppler. I mean, it's not like she's a weather woman or anything and using the Doppler. But she's going to do a test of my legs because it seems like a little discolored on the bottom part, pinkish. And Dr. Gapai, who's been my pharmacist but since the Lincoln administration, we were much younger then, has said that the bottom of my legs are kind of cold and better as you go up. So, circulation. I know exactly why I had to have this test. I stopped my walking on a regular basis. I since have started it back, and I think I'm back in the pink. But and by the time I took that test, I had been walking. So they're probably gonna say nothing wrong, I would think. But you got to check out those things. So they sent me for this test, and this I'm sitting out there, and the young blonde lady girl calls me in, young woman calls me in and brings me into the room. And I thought of all the humor that they used in the 70s because the first thing she says to me is, "Take off your pants." And of course, if this had been the 70s, and certainly if it was a Dean Martin roast or something, I would say, "Well, you first, honey." But no, no, of course, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. She said, um, here's a, it wasn't really a towel, but a big white napkin that you can cover yourself up with. Well, I'm going to be keeping me boxers on, right? Um, but as Karen says, and the ladies can attest to this, when they and it's always a female person doing the mammogram thing, I believe, is around here anyway. They give you this thing, but what's the point? You're you're doing a mammogram. What are they covering up? So she gives. I'll step out for a minute. She doesn't step out long enough, but that's fine. And she comes in with another woman who's more experienced than her. No, I'm sorry. She came in with a guy who's like the big supervisor, beard and everything, and he just wanted to. She's new at this, so he's just starting it for her, and then he's gonna leave and let her go. So the test is what she's gonna. She has this probe, and she puts the hot gel on it, and she's going right for the groin. And then work her way down to my ankle. I'll tell you, this is better than an MRI, this test. It's definitely better than a colonoscopy. And not for her, of course. She's saying, oh, no, another old guy. Why can't I get Justin Bieber? And, uh, but at various times she didn't feel she had a good enough picture. So now she has to bring another woman in who's wearing a mask, like we're in the height of COVID. And that's all right. That's her decision. And she, shows her how to get it the right angle and all that. So they had to do both legs. So, I thought this is not the worst test I've ever had. Enough of that. Enough of that. Kathleen Whataburger is here. Kathleen Wiedenbacher. Neo's here too. Is he? Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Phelps. As is Anna. And let's see. Oops, I did it again. I have my own lyrics to that song, Kathleen Wiedenbacher, by Brittany, who probably needs to, be on stronger meds and go into the hospital for a while. She doesn't need her father as a conservatorship guy again, though. That's for sure. So, yeah, checking for blockage or whatever. 80 degrees where Anna is, but someone has 42. Brenda, where are you? North of Alaska? North to Alaska. Janet Fair, she's always fair, like Jack the Fair Guy, but she spells it different. I spell it Fair, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. I am here from North Dakota. So, what's the temperature in Doug Burgum State? Hey, you remember you used to have a governor called Doug Burgum? He's here with us. He's got no time for you guys. He's trying to become VP, okay? So just deal with it. You don't have a governor right now. He's within inches of Trump at any given moment. I won't say that line. He's he's within inches of President Trump because some are saying he's the guy. Makes no sense at all, though, because we're going to win North Dakota. Go for no, I can't say go for Glenn Youngkin as much as I like him, and we need to win Virginia. Um, you got to go for Ron DeSantis, in my humble opinion, Elizabeth Gilbert. I want him to be in position to run in 4 years as the vice president of the United States. Love you, Ron DeSantis, except you should allow people to get their health insurance. You should allow expanded Medicaid. I do believe you should do that. Bill Presley calling me Jake again. I don't know why. He thinks I'm Jake Crapper. I was going to do I was not. I invited Jack Savage to do a thing on Mrs. Bumgarden, who hates Pastor Bob. Um, but I just got distracted. This was just not the right couple of days to do that. So Jack Savage is coming. I promise. I will have him here, but there were things going on that distracted me from setting up for Jack. Okay. Um, who do you watch online? D. Plunkett, not Gary Puckett. Do you go to the church? Oh, you watch Pastor Bob online, as we all do. Long as you ain't Jake Tapper, yeah. Richard Lyon. Jack Savage is going to have something to say about him. He is. I can't believe, Richard, you're not far from Trump's door when he is down there in Mar-a-Lago, maybe once a week. The trial should wrap this week, right? They ought to have, what's his name on, Bob Costello. He needs to be part of that. He can tell you how much of a liar Michael Cohen is because he was his lawyer. I thought that was attorney-client privilege, though. I didn't think Bob Costello could say some of the things he's saying. Seems like a wonderful man, very well-spoken, good lawyer. However, it's still 76 here in Missouri. Got up to 86 earlier. We haven't seen the 80s yet. I'm hoping to see the 80s myself, That's why I got the defibrillator in my chest. William Brown, downtown. See, I was calling you uptown. I gave you a promotion, but hey, downtown has got Greenwich Village and it's got Soho. That's what I couldn't think of last week or the week before. I couldn't think of where all the rich people live in Soho. Yeah, some of them. Jerry Seinfeld lives near Soho. Yes, thank God. I thought this awful judge, Merchant, what's his name? I'm forgetting how to pronounce his name, was not going to let him go to his son's graduation. That is just insane. I guess he didn't want that kind of bad publicity. It would make him subhuman, and he'd hear about it for the rest of his life. Um, but he was so proud. Did you see that moment where he acknowledges Barron and, of course, Melania there as well, who's in love with Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada? Oh, just remember, Melania, he's a dictator. He's a dictator. That's what he is. My humble opinion. It's just my personal opinion. Everybody say hello to Richard. He's a fine American there, a hardworking man. He cannot afford to buy Sean Hannity's house should he sell it. Don't think he's. I said he was lighting his cigars with $20 bills, and then Richard knew that not everybody in Palm Beach, Florida, is swimming in gold. How would you swim in gold? It would be very hard. The strokes would be very difficult. Yeah. Here's the new poll. Okay. I'll start counting it in the. The thing I hate is I got to count it in the stream and I could miss it, but I can always look back on the stream. But then will I remember? This is not a yes or a no. This is a name, and I guess you can say any name you want. But I would hope it would be one or of two names. Okay. All right. New poll. New poll. Richard Lyon. I should have you making the tally out. You're the grand patriarch, for goodness sakes. I got the hippie hippie shakes. For goodness sakes. I got the hippie hippie shakes. What the heck is that, Richard? I don't know. But I know you know that song because you got snow on your roof. You do. Are you on blood pressure medicine, Richard? I only ask that personal question because it'll give me knowledge of something else you may have. Well, I won't say. Every man knows. Not every woman. More than a woman. More than a woman to me. Oh, man. I almost want to show you a picture, but I can't violate someone's privacy. That's a private person here in the Hudson Valley. I can't do that. Oh, Elizabeth, can't wait for the pictures. Elizabeth is taking pictures because she's going to the church, or is this August 11th? She's going to the big celebration. I'm going to try to play that spot in a little while. Angelina Duran Miller, gotta love them. Bee Gees, yeah, they were certainly great. Barry Gibb is out there with his kids now, just like Glenn Campbell did when he did one more tour with Alzheimer's. You know, have you seen that? It's on Tubi. I'll Be Me. Glenn Campbell, I'll Be Me. And it's footage of what it was like as they went on that last tour, you know, with Glenn having Alzheimer's. And of course, he was getting progressively worse, but he relied heavily on teleprompters. And you know, if they should go out, he was more lost than an Osmond in Amsterdam. I'll tell you what. Like your shirt, Jack. Well, I have a new one that I'm going to wear tomorrow in Clark, New Jersey. Another No Boundaries creation. I'll tell you, these are at Walmart and they're only $12.99, but they're beautiful shirts. They're beautiful. Last week I wore my genuine Hawaii shirt from Carol down in Heifer Hills, Florida, and where they have the Jolly Cow, I believe. I believe that's accurate too. I believe we went to Twin Cone, Karen and I, on the way back from Monticello. Yes, we went to Monticello yesterday. Monticello, really. We went to the Wombo. Oh, Wombo lunch. Nice, affordable lunch. Our second favorite Chinese buffet. It can't beat Flaming Grill. But we went to Wombo. That woman, she's still fairly young, the owner, with her husband who does the cooking. And it's like it's such a work mentality. I always say to her, you know, you got to close the place for a couple of weeks, go to the beach, have a good time. Oh, we off Tuesday. We off Tuesday. Tuesday. You like the Tuesday. But then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you're coming in there around probably around 10 o'clock in the morning and you're leaving around 10 o'clock at night. That's no life. That's no life. They do have a waitress now there that can help out. She doesn't have to do every single thing. Thank you for that, Laura. This I think we got in Pine Bush at the UFO Festival, or did I get it somewhere else? I didn't get this one in New Paltz. We haven't been in New Paltz in a long time. But yeah, we went to Monticello, and then we joined all the nice Orthodox Jewish people at Walmart. And they don't buy the New Boundaries shirts. And they were looking at their watch because it was Friday, you know, that sun's going down. They won't be there anymore. I mean, it'll be like a mass exodus, you know, starring Charlton Heston. There'll be a mass exodus around 7 o'clock. They'll all be running for the exits, whether they pay or not, because they can't be out after sundown. What's the poll, Jack? See how I get distracted, Shell? Sometimes I'm as wacky as well. Let's just be honest. You, the question is, um, Pastor Bob admitted from the pulpit something I've been hearing for weeks that he has. I heard it was Memphis, but it was wrong. My first information. He has recorded a big album in Nashville, Tennessee. Some songs have a full orchestra on them. Obviously, he's not distracted playing a piano, so he'll be able to concentrate on the vocals. There's a thing called vocal enhancement that most older guys use these days. Billy Joel uses it. They all use it. Whether he used it or not, I have no idea, but I wouldn't begrudge him if he did. I think it's all gospel. I do. That's the impression I got, but I'm not sure. But anyway, the question I have for you is I heard of a mid July release, mid July release. The artist name on the CD. What artist name should be on the biggest album he's done in many years? Many years. Many years. Well, maybe not all those years. Could be 2011. I think the first Bob Joyce CD is listed as 2010. What is the name of the artist that should be on the Nashville CD that the pastor has just recorded? What artist name should be there? On your mark, get set, go, bro. Did anyone notice what Bob Joyce wore to Mar-a-Lago? Well, of course, he was dressed up when they had the big banquet. When he spoke and gave the prayer, he was dressed up real nice. Look at that hair. He says, Jack Willard, yeah, like he's thinking about me. Jack Willard says I may be wearing a piece. I'll show him I'm not. I'll grow my hair out all wild and stuff. You, people ask him now if he was in Van Halen or perhaps Poison. There he is with Dr. Ward, a very rich person. And also he had Devin, not Newsom, what's his name? Richard, help me. Devin, the former congressman, had his picture taken. Newton, whatever it is. He had his picture taken. Why would he want his picture with a pastor from Benton, Arkansas? Nunez, thank you, Heather. You come through, and you're not even from Canada, you say now. I thought you were, though. So I'm really confused. Anastasia, I know you've been here for a little bit. I meant to acknowledge you. Bob Joyce, to keep things peaceful. Okay, so I'm going to start my poll now. Bob, and I'm going to write another name down here, which I'm not going to state myself. So we have one for Bob so far. My favorite song out of all the CD is The Lord is My Shepherd. I love that song. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, okay, Margaret. Maybe I'll find that on Spotify. Let me make a note because you know what happens if I don't. I wish I could just play. I could go right to Spotify now and play it. You'd hear it crystal clear. They get paid because I'm playing it off of Spotify, but I can't, But that's the rules of Google, and I really do try to follow the rules of Google. I do, and I appreciate them. Have I said that? And I'm not lying. I really appreciate them. I mean, I used to, when I was down the road here at the Big Castle being an overnight DJ with my permed afro, in the middle of the night, I'd be lucky if I had 150 people listening to me. If I was on in the day, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., I might have a couple of thousand, 3,000, 5,000. But, in the middle of the night, no. No, no, no. I'm talking about the name of the artist. So you got to actually say the word for your vote to count. So we have one Bob so far. Now I'm glued to this. Deborah Lake says Bob Joyce should be listed as the artist. I'm going to probably have to go back because I'm going to spend the entire time looking at this, and that's not good for content, is it? But I will go back, So, and you got to just say the name, not any. I won't count it if you don't put it that way. Kathy Jolly, not Linda Jolly. I knew Linda Jolly. Where did I work with Linda Jolly? Oh boy. Maybe Camp LaGuardia when I was pretending to be a peace officer. Betty Johnson from Johnson and Johnson is here. Welcome, Betty Johnson. Yeah. Bob did look great, didn't he? High Speed Drifter. Hello, Elvis fans. We have Elvis fans here, High Speed Drifter. Are you really a drifter? Have you ever lived in your car, High Speed Drifter? Okay, so I think I'm up to date there. Um, Tell the truth is not good enough. You got to give me a name. Uh, Peace in the Valley is a wonderful song by Pastor Bob Joyce, isn't it? Yes. Elvis is singing Amazing Grace, says Dee. That's not a vote, by the way. Um, and He Hideth My Soul is early Elvis. And that means I got to talk to you, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. In the replay, or if you're live but incognito. Can you be an incognito? Of course you can, right? If you don't comment, that's obvious. 108 watching right now. Thank you. Please hit the like button and the notification bell. That would be swell. That would be groovy, but in a far out kind of way. Um, what, you were pretending to be a peace officer, Jack? Absolutely, Kathleen. I'm the least cop you'll ever find, but I was. I did have my license. I was a duly sworn in city of New York peace officer. The Department of Homeless Services had to raise my hand and everything. But I was a disc jockey pretending to be one. In 19 years that I was at Camp LaGuardia, I made one and a half arrest, and I was forced into that. One, I had to do the lead in when the guy came to me. I've said it before, with his head bleeding, said, "Officer, I'm almost ready to go home. It's like 20 minutes to 8 a.m. I'm working midnight to 8." You see him, he hit me. I want him arrested. I couldn't get out of that one. I couldn't. I learned the trick. Don't ever be the first officer on the scene. Two reasons. Number one, you're the one going to be doing all that paperwork. The second guy will be your assist officer. And the other reason is, if you show up first and the other officers aren't right behind you, you could be in a jam. You could be rolling around on the floor, or not, or not. Oh, it's another story that I could tell you, but you'd not think well of me. I tried to do something, but I knew there was no way. This guy looked like Mike Tyson. What am I going to do? I needed help. And so I used the most important thing. It's called verbal judo. I reminded him. I knew he was on probation. I said, "You don't want to be doing this. You're doing well here. You don't want to violate your probation." And he stopped. I used me mouth, see? Because there was no way I was going to be able to pull him off that guy. Forget about it. Right, Mikhail? He could have made mincemeat out of me. Um, so you're making a vote there, Michael? Just say a name, because it gets a little confusing if you don't. Hello, William Brown. See, they know you're here, downtown William Brown. Hope you are well. Taking care of business. That's not a vote, Shell. You got to just say the name. I didn't realize this was going to be hard. Yes, you arrested me in the past. I couldn't even get the handcuffs on. What I would do when I thought I was gonna, when we were standing around and that it might be me that was gonna have to handcuff, I would open up the cuff first. One time, because there's a way just to do it where you snap it on the wrist, but I didn't have a position. Talk about Barney Fife, guys. I didn't have a position right, and the guy goes, "Ow!" God. The stories I could tell you. Lana Die. Name of artist, Bob Presley. Okay. There's another vote for the name of the artist on the new Nashville CD. Should be Bob Presley. Shack your email. I will be going to that. Yes, I will be. But right now I'm engrossed here. But I have email set up and I will go to it in a minute, I promise. Johnny Ginseng agrees with Richard Lyon, which is always a dangerous thing to do, Johnny. But welcome to you. Where are you watching us from tonight? Welcome, Johnny. Appreciate you being here. This is Worldwide Ramblings. Hello, replay crowd. Cast your vote. New Nashville CD that the pastor from Benton, Arkansas recorded with an orchestra. and Nashville, as I said, and could be coming out in mid-July. Maybe they'll hold it a little longer. I don't know. And what's the artist name that should be on the CD? The one for Margaret just has to be funny. She just can't follow the rules. It was like this when she was in school. Yeah, but I'll take that. Oh, yes. And then she turns it around the other way. You're about to get detention, Margaret, and you're not going to like it because you won't be able to go out to recess for a week. Rejoice. Amen. Again, I say rejoice. Shelley, sometimes your questions are, well, they're worse than Biden would ask. That'll make you sit up and take notice. Betty Johnson. Yeah, you got to give me a real name or I'm not going to count it, okay? Because you're making my poll difficult. um, Stop laughing, Richard. It's not funny there in your fun room, day room. He never answers a single question I've ever asked him, and he's not going to start. Vivian, tell him to answer that. Oh, he did say that there was a lot of smoke when he was lighting his cigars with $20 bills. I can imagine there would be. Anastasia. Anastasia. I didn't realize this would be this hard to get a straight answer from people. Faith Lloyd just gives me a straight answer, so I'll count that. Thank you. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Oh, now I got to use me whiteout. Got to use me whiteout. Try to find whiteout in real time. I'll find it 10 minutes after. Okay, so X that one out. So I'm not gonna. If you just don't, you got to mention one word as the name of who should be on the CD. So where was that I saw that? I can't look. You see how engrossed I am, Margaret. For goodness sakes. I don't want to miss that one. Austin Butler. um, Faith Lloyd said Elvis. What are you, one of these conspiracy theorists? I've got that noted, though. I've got that noted. Darlene says Elvis. Really? You probably think Michael Jackson is alive too. Don't start, Shell. Don't start. I didn't want to awaken your conspiracy thing. I got two for Austin Butler so far. That's kind of clever. Richard, you just sent me something, didn't you? I know you did. I'm only looking for one word, Bill Presley. I can't write myself long notes here. I'm thinking that you're saying uh, the name Bob Joyce should be on there. So, as Bus Lady says, Bob Joyce, he's way out in front so far, way out in front. Um, and yeah. But Gary, that's not the vote. See, most of us, that could be a correct statement, but what name should be on that CD? Because that's really a different question, when you think about it. Like I'm now supposed to, Mikhail says, Reverend Bob Joyce. I'll take that. Michael, I will. All right, let's see here. Let me just check text real soon. Real soon, like real now. Good news. No, that was me. Duh. Yes. Um. Okay, I'll address that. Um. Well, It's going by very fast. That's all I can say. I think, as I've said before, the man who owns the name Elvis Presley would be a smart businessman, right? And he would be very happy for Elvis to suddenly be found alive and would work out a nice deal and make a ton of money. I think if Elvis was in the witness protection program, he left, I'm going to say the year 2011. He's no longer in it. You can't have a worldwide YouTube ministry and be in the witness protection program. So, Marianne, Marianne, come on, Marianne, Marianne, Marianne Rossi. Ah, boy, everybody's giving me a tough time, including Marianne Rossi, who's going to claim she's Polish tomorrow to get in. She's going to learn a few Polish words at least, Marianne, okay? Believe me, you'd enjoy yourself if you were able to get in. I think the show probably goes till 6 o'clock, but I could be wrong. David Statton's here. And he says Bob Joyce should be on that CD. Um, the name was sold to a chap that was at the Elvis birthday celebration, High Speed Drifter. I saw him in January. He seems like a very nice man, and I'm sure he'd be willing to work out a deal. Before that, it was my ex radio boss, Robert FX Sillerman, who was my boss right here down the road at the Wall Radio Castle. But he died of cancer in 2019 with a multi-billionaire. He was only in his early 70s, you know. He was an interesting man, I can tell you that. Um, so okay. Oh, Margaret, I'm going to the email. She's so pushy. I've heard that before about her. I have. All right. Oh, don't say it. So it's usually say it, but don't spray it. That was the problem for Richard when he got his first set of fake teeth at the Walmart. But since then, he's so rich he can afford Clear Choice. He had the Clear Choice procedure. You know how much Clear Choice? Have you seen the commercials? 35 grand. 35 grand. They never tell you that in the commercial, do they? But, you know, for somebody, 35 grand for a great set of teeth, sure. Okay. All right. Let's see what you got here. You're not going to try to tell me that's Elvis, are you? Looks more like Pete Seeger, for goodness sakes. I just never know with you. It's a interesting shirt she's wearing. You know who I think may be Elvis Presley? I have no alternate choices. I have no alternate choices. Oh, is that superimposed? That looks superimposed, like they put him there. It looks like, you know, CGI. Pastor Bob Joyce standing next to a guy I don't recognize, but maybe I should recognize because that's not Tommy Chong, right? Kind of looks like Tommy Chong now that I look at him. Did Tommy Chong play the guitar from Cheech and Chong? He does look like Tommy Chong. And I don't know who the young lady is. It's not Sabrina. No. Um, Let me know if you want me to show that picture at a future date. I can't take a picture. That would be not good while I'm live streaming. Whoops. Okay. Wait a minute. Thank God I didn't cancel the live stream. I'd blame it all on Margaret. Um, Anything else I want to see here? Yeah, I don't, Heather, I don't know. You know, lots of people, of course, are called Bob Joyce, so I don't think there's Robert Robert Joyce. I'm sure there were hundreds, and maybe thousands. You know, so I don't know anything about that yearbook you showed me, but it's not the Bob Joyce we know. It's not the Bob Joyce we know. Um, you're in a lighthearted mood, so I won't read anything from Bill O'Reilly right now or Glenn Beck. Yeah, I showed you the thumbnail that Pastor Bob Joyce has done an interview right there in the sanctuary with Gene Ho, and it is going to be coming out on a future issue. The interview will be printed in georgemagazine.com. So go to georgemagazine.com/subscribe dash GEOR dot. It says easy. Just go to georgemagazine.com and you'll see how to subscribe. And then you'll be able to read the Pastor Bob Joyce interview when it comes out in a future issue, not far from now. I'm guessing the August issue. So, yeah, baby, do that. And thank you for sending me that. Thank you for being a friend. Back to live stream. My boy, you're making me think of a Richard Harris song. That was the follow up to, I think it was the follow up to MacArthur Park. Ruthie. Ruthie says Elvis should be on the CD. Another conspiracy theorist, apparently. Yeah, that's why I was called by Tiffany. Us, we're conspiracy theorists, because I know you love that. Bob Joyce is your favorite conspiracy. Well, it would be my only conspiracy. Don't want to lose my on-air sign, if you want to call it that, because I don't have any others. I did a video or two on Paul McCartney, but only because it's a fascinating story. Paul McCartney is Really Dead is a movie that you can, I think, still see on Tubi by what's his name there, who big Dylan fan who has a movie on Bob Dylan as well. Documentary, but Timothy Chalamet will play Mr. Dylan. As we speak, Timothy is learning from the guy who taught Austin Butler how to sing like Elvis. He's teaching Timothy Chalamet to sing like Bob Dylan. And I think shooting could begin on the Dylan movie in June. My son says he'll be great, better looking than Dylan, too. But the young people won't care. So we'll see. We'll see. So I was there at the Monticello Walmart, and you get checked out, and you have to show your receipt to the young man, very long hair at the door, because we didn't bag everything up. We only bagged some of the stuff up. So they just do a check to make sure, you're not trying to go with something you didn't pay for. And his name was Dylan. I said, oh, your folks must have been big Bob Dylan fans, right? Because it's spelled the same, Dylin. He said, absolutely, they were. Absolutely, they love Bob Dylan. So I was actually right about that for once, Richard. Over one, we're doing pretty well for the most part. The live shows are the most popular. David Staten wants Gene Ho's name to be on the CD. Now, I think you already voted, right? But Gene Ho, yeah. Are you trying to remind me to play the spot? Because I would have forgotten, maybe. I did tell my sultry test that I had over at the Middletown Medical this past week. I will go back and look at the stream later for votes that I missed. And I'll repeat what we're voting about. And let's see here. Don't press the wrong button. Don't do it, buddy. If I hit the live stream out, we're done. I'll have to come back in a second stream, and that never works. It's like shooting myself in the foot. Oh, the thing has slipped down. So now I'm going to have to. Oh, I know. Just type in. Duh. If I fell in love with you, would you promise to be true and help me understand? 'Cause I've been in love before. She was everything and more. I changed the lyrics. Yeah, here we go, right? Oh, I thought this was the one. Do, 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 do. Who's hosting? Who's hosting? Jeopardy now? Is it like 4 different people, or is that Brainiac guy that won all the time? Who's hosting Jeopardy? I don't watch. I used to watch sometimes when it was Alex. Let's listen, ladies and gentlemen. Big event coming to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Please don't break here, YouTube. Wait till after the spot, then break. Yeah, that'd be good. The big shindig, big ministry event and comedy and music and everything coming to Hot Springs, put on by George Magazine. Gene Ho is putting this together. And
join us in beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas for the first annual George Magazine Live, August 10th and 11th, with special guests Richie Minervini, John B. Wells, Amanda Grace, Pastor Bob Joyce, Donae Clement, Juanita Broderick, Scott McKay, Andre Popa, and special online appearance by Dave Blade, the CEO of George Magazine, with your musical guest Bella Popa and me. Come on, join us Sunday for a free Sunday service as well with Pastor Bob Joyce. It's George Magazine Live, August 10th and 11th. Find out more at George Magazine Live.
Dramatic pause there intentionally. And if you put in the code once you go to register for the Saturday event, which is the paid event, type in GENE, lowercase GENE, and you'll get 15% off. All right, 15% off. Back to live stream. And yeah, quite an assortment of guests. I'd love to see John B. Wells. Haven't made a decision on that yet, but I'll let you know. Oh, Marianne Rossi just asked me. Yeah, I just don't know yet. I just don't know. It's a big thing for me, and I just don't know. It's that kind of thing is that you really don't know for sure until it's very close. And even then, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I want to go. I do. I do want to go. I hope we have a show by then. Don't forget, everybody, write down WOATradio.com. That's the website I have not started yet, WOAT Radio and WOATradio.com, Willard Oldies and Talk. But I hope to be here on YouTube for many years to come. I love it, and I appreciate what they do for me. So Selena M., not the usual Selena we get, because she highlights in orange, and I'm glad you're not. Jeopardy hosted by, okay, yeah. Oh, really? Talk about brainiacs. How do you say her name again? Bialik. Why am I having trouble pronouncing her first name? It's not Mayhem. Mayhem? Yeah. She is a genius, a literal certified genius, who, of course, was on a number of sitcoms. What were her sitcoms, Selena M? I can't even think of them off the top of my head, but she's right up there. Very smart woman, and she has a Facebook following. When she had her colonoscopy, she took us through it almost step by step, encouraging people to get one. You know, Saved by Carnivore. Missed your live. Well, we're live right now, so you didn't miss it. And hi, Bus Lady. Yes, if I didn't say that, Bus Lady. I thought Ken was hosting too, but I thought maybe they alternated host. So I don't know. I just haven't seen the show. Oh, it is you. And I thought we had a second Selena. I thought it would have been Selena G. I would have said, oh, Selena Gomez, but no, she's not going to be watching, I don't think, unfortunately. Okay, cool. Welcome, Selena. So our new survey, we've completed the other survey. And if you didn't hear the results of that, by the way, Tiffany also knew that the song Never Been Any Reason, I didn't finish that thought. Got to finish that. Never Been Any Reason, that great rock and roll song is Head East. Absolutely. So we asked the what do we ask? Because we have a whole new survey now. Here's our latest one. Bob has announced he has recorded his biggest album in many years, shall we say, in Nashville. Some songs with a full orchestra. What is the artist name that should be on the CD? Don't vote twice. Don't vote twice. Vito, my hair guy, is here. Really? Wow. Hi, Vito. Welcome. Vito Yazzo, YOZZO.com. Vito Yazzo, right here at YouTube. Check Vito Yazzo's music out. He sings lots of Elvis songs. He does. Sam Sammy is here. Hello, Jack, and hello, Sam Sammy. Welcome. I'm supposed to figure out you trying to be clever, Shell, in real time. That's a difficult thing. Big Bang Theory. She was in that, right? Yeah. There was another one, right? Jennings is hosting Jeopardy. Okay. So there you go. I think they rotated host, and didn't she host during that time period? I'm very confused because at 7 o'clock at night, I'm usually watching Laura Ingraham. I miss Rob Schmidt on Newsmax. I haven't bought the paid version of that. Rob is very good too. Rob Schmidt on Newsmax, but you have to pay to see Newsmax 1 now. Saved by Carnivore says, yes, I eat only beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and have healed diabetes, chronic leukemia, and lost 80 pounds. And you didn't have any kind of chemotherapy or anything, which I know destroys cells as it tries to repair you. Very interesting. Very interesting. You're almost on the Atkins diet is what you're on. Yeah. And we never got to see if it worked for him because he slipped on the ice and hit his head. Lots of hearts there for somebody from Margaret who goes under the name Don Lemon's wife, Belinda. Don Lemon doesn't have a wife. He is the wife. Oh, stop it. Stop it. He has a turquoise kimono, I believe. Yeah. So welcome everybody. Welcome. If I miss, and you got to say the full name. I mean, you got to say the one word only for the artist's name. Okay, is the best way to say it for me to count it. Chantal is here from Montreal. She only speaks French, so come on, people, start speaking French right now. If it's that Chantal, oui. Parlez-vous français? I wish I did. Chantal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. See, I'm all confused. I'm mixing languages, Chantal. Welcome to you. Speak French, everybody. Come on, somebody does. You took French in school, Kathleen Wiedenbacher, also known as Kathleen Whataburger. Yeah. The contract is expiring soon. I don't know, Sammy. It's all Greek to me, and I don't even own a diner. So join me in Clark, New Jersey tomorrow if you're anywhere near Clark, New Jersey, for 18-time Grammy winner Jimmy Sturr at 2 p.m. $25 to get in. Great Polish food, and of course there'll be beer and other spirits, I'm sure. Be careful. Always have a designated driver. Have one drink when you first get there, and then switch to Diet Pepsi. That's always worked for me, or water. The Waters. By the way, Austin Butler has 2 votes on what name should be on that CD. I'll count that. Just for fun. One hip chick yet here yet? Who else are we not seeing? Cheryl Everhart? Um, hmm. Yeah. We have 97 watching right now here. Please hit the like button and the notification bell. And Jimmy Stir, let's see. Next week, he'll be in Barnesville, PA at the Lakeside Ballroom. I hear it's a real cool place at 2 p.m. with a big wooden dance floor. I'll only be there if my friends Sean and Norma are going. Then June 22nd in Warwick, New York, beautiful Warwick, New York, at Penning's Farm. They have a beautiful farm store and a restaurant that's very nice. And there'll be food trucks there and there'll be crafts there. And there'll be music starting at noon with Jimmy Stir. And then at 3 p.m., the group One Swift Kick. And I think some hillbillies at 5 o'clock or something like that to close it out. Then in July, right in our downtown at Degnan Square, John Degnan Square, he passed away about 4 weeks ago, a beloved teacher. Port Jervis, New York, July the 13th, America the Beautiful Festival. 6:45 p.m. is when Jimmy hits the stage to close out the music, followed by fireworks on July 13th. Just if you're anywhere near Matamoros, Pennsylvania, or Milford, it's just a stone's throw to Port Jervis, New York. And then the very next day, Richard, get your tickets and fly down and join us, huh? The 14th in Onion Country of New York, the onion capital of the East Coast, Pine Island, New York, in the Polish Club, but outside in that beautiful pavilion, rain or shine, Jimmy Stir and the orchestra, and special guest, the Tokens. Jimmy Stir just sent me the flyer today. It came in the mail today. Of course, that'll end up on my wall. I'm running out of space, though. I'm running out of space. And here's the flyer for that. There's a younger Jimmy. There's Jay Siegel as he looks today, the original voice of the Tokens. I love their song, Portrait of My Love. There will never be a portrait of my love. The Lion Sleeps Tonight is their biggest hit, also done by Robert John later on in the 70s. Chris Caffrey from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra will be there, and Jimmy and the Boys from like 2 to 6 p.m. Get there early, wonderful food from the ladies in the kitchen there at the Polish Club. They're mostly ladies. There's a guy or two also. I don't mean to say just ladies. And the chocolate cream pie, get it quick because it's to die for. It's to die for. So tickets for Summerfest with Jimmy Stir in Pine Island, New York, 25 in advance, 30 at the door. Send a check to Jimmy Stir, Box 1, Florida, New York, 10921. Jimmy Stir, Sturr, Box 1, Florida, New York, 10921. If you want to put it on a credit card on Monday, call 845 651 4266. 845 651 4266. Make your checks payable to Jimmy Stir if you're doing it by mail. Sturr. Love to see you at Summerfest. Believe me, it's so much fun. Even Karen always likes most of it. And they have the lotto, the 50-50, and somebody that's got like a board with like 50 lottery tickets on it. You can take chances on that. Who knows what could happen, Brenda? Who knows? Gary Hill and the Polish sausage by the pound. No, they won't have the onions then because you'll be smelling them in the air. They're still growing. They do have, of course, kielbasa inside to eat with the pierogies. I don't say that the Polish way, the pierogies. I can't do it. And stuffed cabbage and potato salad. Probably the German potato salad. I'm not sure. And Sam Semi says, music by Jack Presley. Funny. Jack, what's the name of the CD that Bob Joyce put out? I haven't heard that. Um, um, Somebody told me it was called It's Good to Be Back. Oh, I'm just kidding. I made that up. Now, come on. Don't take me seriously. Karen doesn't. Why should you? Yeah, it's yummy stuff. I'm not a big, kielbasi, pierogi guy, but I always enjoy it there. They have all those onions that they put on it, and they're from Pine Island. And now, 2 months later, at the very same place, it's Onion Fest. It's usually Memorial Day weekend, usually. The first Sunday in September, we go back there. I know this sounds weird to you non-polka fans, but they play rock and roll, they play country, and they certainly play big band. Um, we go back there for Onion Fest the first Sunday in September, and that's when you can buy a I don't know, a 3-pound bag of onions or a 10-pound bag of onions, and they have the onion eating contest. I think Richard would be perfect for that. The onion eating contest. Yeah, yeah, baby. Ah. Any topics out there? Questions? Anything like that? I don't know what the name of the CD is. So I guess you're putting a name in Shirley, right? Who goes under the name Henry, her husband. You're saying you're putting in a vote for Bob Joyce to be on that CD, correct? And where's my list? Here it is. Yeah. If you're out in Texas and you want to see Jimmy Stir, that's the Worst Fest. WURST, the Worst Fest in New Braunfels, Texas. And that's in November. They play 4 days in a row. Thousands of people go to Worst Fest. There's 3 or 4 music stages. Obviously, they have a country stage or two, you know. Yes. Well, Bob is way out there in front so far. That's a funny line, though. Joyce sings himself. So, yeah, Tiffany, if I miss it, I'm going to look back at this later. Your vote, was saying this is what Tiffany said, and it's not a bad comment because when they built the current household of faith, Pastor Bob Joyce was doing carpentry work on it. We see pictures of that, so he does have carpentry skills. So that was pretty good. And I'm not ruling out 100%, Tiffany. I'm not, but she said her husband. How did she put it? Should I try to find the email? I don't usually like to violate by reading an email when I've identified the person's name, but she was saying that her husband or husband's cousin, I think, worked with Bob Joyce. He was a carpenter. They worked to about 2011. That was thrown in there. How convenient, 2011. And then he retired as a carpenter in 2011. He's from Little Rock, Arkansas. He's a regular, hardworking man. And she says, I know this is your favorite conspiracy. I answered back, but I said, yeah, all retired carpenters go to Mar-a-Lago and possibly officiate a funeral service and sing the very song in church the weekend after Lisa Marie's tragic passing, the very song that Lisa Marie used as a tribute song to her father, Elvis Presley. I mean, when you get to like 6 dozen coincidences, there has got to be some fire along with this. Billows of smoke, more smoke than when Richard is down there, in his beautiful fun room, smoking one of those $150 cigars, that they have in a special cooled room at a cigar specialty shop. There's just too much. There's too much. So it would mean that God created a clone. Could be the love child's son. I always say that. But there's just so much that it would be that why would God do that? That he would create such a story like this and it not be Elvis or the son of Elvis. It just doesn't. There's just so many because people talk about other people, but they can't give me a list of reasons I should think that. And if they did, it's just not enough to say it. If you're going to say something like that he was a construction worker, give me some documentation. I have done like the verdict video and listed dozens and dozens of things and explained how we came to that. We talked about the Phil Aitchison report, the Gail Brewer report. We show pictures of Priscilla touching the back of who we feel is Bob Joyce, his shoulder at the funeral of George Klein in Memphis, Tennessee. There's just too much for it to be nothing. There's just too much. Retired carpenters don't go to Mar-a-Lago, uh, and they don't. Well, there's so many things. Which should I go to next? So there's something to this story. There is some fire with the smoke, whatever it may be. But in terms of the ultimate conclusion that Bob could have been Elvis, I only speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. Brenda. Thank you, Brenda. You're a fine American, even though you're from the former Yugoslavia. Jimmy Samples, son of Junior Samples on Hee Haw. My wife thinks I'm crazy. So does my son, Jimmy. She thinks Elvis died and Bob Joyce is not Elvis. We argue about this a lot, LOL. Yeah. My son infers that I may be a little light in the brain cells. And they don't have Gene Ho in their church. Yes. Their. Yeah. John Jeffries, how are you? Plural of Elvis is Elvis. And so our latest poll, John Jeffries, is what artist name should be on the new CD recorded in Nashville in July? What artist name should it be? Should it be Bob or should it be another name? What's your vote? What's your vote? If I don't catch it here, I'll look back later. And then, of course, the replay crowd. Hi, replay crowd. I appreciate you so much. You gave me 1,000 hits on our latest Pop On to Pop Off Plus, and I appreciate that. Don't forget, a Jack Savage video is going to be coming soon. I may not make it for Sunday. I always like to get a part of the weekend. I might save it for next Friday. I might. But he'll be talking about Mrs. Bumgarten, who hates Bob. She wouldn't probably use a strong word like that. Fred is here. Fred. John Jeffries. Well, I'm going to go with your second choice, okay? Because I know you're only being funny. Thank you, John Jeffries. Who the heck is Fred? Fred Rogers is dead. Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. We have 96 watching right now. This is Worldwide Ramblings. Any questions, any comments, some story in the news you'd like to talk about? Not Wilma, but Willina. Willina. I used to say, I think I said Wilma back in the day a few times. Yeah, 2 R's. Gary is very happy that he has 2 R's because it's distinctive, Gary Hill, not Dan Hill? Was it Dan Hill? That sounds right. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, and I have to close my eyes and cry. I want to hold you till I cry, till we both lay down and die. I want to hold you to the fear in me. Hit the high note for me, Richard. Subsides. I saw Marie Osmond do a duet with the late Andy Gibb on probably the Osmond, the Donnie and Marie show, and she made no she made no secret of the fact that she was very much enamored by Andy Gibb. But he wasn't Mormon. There was no way it was going to happen. And of course, he was doing the drugs. So, that would not have happened. You can't even have a Coca Cola, for goodness sakes. Not even caffeine free. Do they even make caffeine free anymore, Coke? The gold label? I don't think they do. Nobody bought it. Great singing. Anastasia, I've told you and told you you must have your hearing checked, and you've been putting it off. Yes, it was a tribute to Lisa by Pastor Bob. It was obviously that. And why would he do that? He wouldn't do that because he would say, I'm just playing right into the conspiracy theorist hands. So, Tiffany, I don't know where you are. If you're in the replay, send me an email, Tiffany, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. Jack the FAIR guy at gmail.com. Yeah. Well, here comes Randy. Randy Biggerstaff, or is that your wife's maiden name? It's kind of a cool last name for a guy to have when you think about it, Randy. Huh? See, I'll never get rid of the flesh completely in this life. It just won't be that way. You're right on the money. 2 for the road. 3 to get ready, and 4 cat goes. Gonna rock and what am I gonna do? You're right on the money, Jacques. Odds of Bob not being Elvis equate to finding an albino Sasquatch. Oh, well, we have one in Otisville, so it's not that rare. Named Winter, last name Winter, right? The Sasquatch's last name would be Winter. Would it be Johnny or Edgar? Could it be Edgar? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Frankenstein. What's the other hit from the Edgar Winter group? Who's going to tell me? Who's going to tell me what's the other hit for the Edgar Winter group? Johnny Winter never had a hit, by the way. But he was, in a sense, he was just as popular because they played him on the rock and roll radio. And by saying howdy to Randy, what's the other hit for the Edgar Winter group? Don't look it up. Hunter Biden is here with us today, gentlemen. No, Hunter Elgin. Good singing. What is wrong here? Somebody had got to check their ears. Well, Gary, Bob is Elvis, and that solves it. The thing is that we back it up. People make statements and they don't back it up. They just expect you to believe it. And okay, I'm putting you down as a conspiracy theorist because my husband's cousin worked with Bob as and that could be right. It could be right. I'm not saying there's no way it could be possible. Then he's the love child son. But why would the love child son be in construction? We do know that Barb has carpentry skills, though. So that is, it's a very good thing to pick. Well, thank you, Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. Come on and take a free ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm back in the disco era. I'm down here, Marianne Rossi. I'm down at Class of 57, and there's this group called Fridays with an S. That would later change their name to Rock It. But it was the same group of guys, and they were fantastic, and everybody loved them, Marianne. And then when they got down to the fairgrounds, what the heck was that place called? Cousins? Or was Cousins up on 211? There were several names to the place. That's what's throwing me. It's no longer in existence. You know what's at Cousins now? Dr. Plumer, and he does my colonoscopy there. I used to have fun in that space of Earth, and now I'm getting a colonoscopy there every 5 years. I said, Dr. Plumer, by the time it's time for my next one, you'll own an island in Fiji. I probably won't see you again. But anyway, yeah, we go down there, and what they do sometimes, they get naughty. They'd have a contest. All the men showed up that night. Yes, you're going to do a little dancing on the stage if you're female. And they'd give you a special shirt. You'd get a special shirt. It was always white in color. And then they take a half bucket of water and they douse it on your shirt. And that was a contest. I don't think they do that much anymore, do they? Do they, Gary Hill? Bill, I live in the same town as you, Randy. Really? Bill Presley, are you talking to? Hmm. I don't know who you're talking about, Margaret. Um, Paul Carruthers says free ride. Absolutely. He got it too by Edgar Winter Group. Those were the two hits for Edgar and Albino. And Johnny Winter, I don't know if Edgar is gone or not. Is he? I know Johnny is. He played at a blues club about 3 miles from here, right down the road. That was a big thing. Say in the 90s, to see on this blues club that Johnny Winter was coming to town. I did not see him, unfortunately. I should have, but, with my work schedule and everything, I wasn't always retired. 103 watching right now. Please subscribe and like. One Hip Chick finally joins us. So, did anyone know what Bob Joyce did from 1977 on? Well, he didn't exist. There was no Bob Joyce in 1977. I mean, there was, but it was Robert Wayne Joyce. Robert Wayne Joyce. And that's another thing I told Tammy. Thank you for reminding me. You just helped me because I forget things, I forget to read all the community guidelines on YouTube. I'm reading them, but then I think of something because, creative people do this. And the fact that I'm getting older, I'm 68 years old. Don't hold it against me. And I forgot to notice something in the community guidelines about reading a novel. Anyway, here's Bob. You're telling me he transformed into this man? Boulder Dash. I don't believe. And there's our better examples. And then you're telling me, there's only one Bob Joyce. There's only one Bob Joyce. Well, who's that man? And I have other examples. That's the weird thing. Back in the day, there were people that looked like Elvis that might have come to Arkansas. They might have, that were doubles for Elvis. And it'd be really funny and would mess with your mind if they came and, moved to Benton. But we have this video. On occasion, a Bob Joyce who looks different appears. And I don't see M. Silva here right now, but she said when she went to the church, she's been 3 times, she walked into the foyer of the church, she saw this man. I think this was the one. And he was nervous and left real quickly out the front door. And then as she walked into the sanctuary, here comes Pastor Bob that we all know and see on camera 100% of the time, coming out from another door, dressed a little differently, of course, and looking differently. She says, it's like I saw his younger brother just then. All these coincidences, the same story. I don't buy it, Tiffany. Here I am at the nightclub at Villa Roma. It is fun to go down there or up there, really. Villa Roma for Polka Weekend. Yeah. Had a good time at Polka Weekend. And then, of course, there's the German girlfriend who looks like Walina. Just another coincidence we should not notice us conspiracy theorists. So, and not to be confused with Sigrid Schultz, a friend of the woman who looks like Walina Joyce in Germany. There she is, both young and old. And somewhere I have a picture of her with Walina and soldier Elvis Presley. It's just an amazing story that someday the mainstream media will tell, but in God's time. in God's time. Oh, I don't know, Gary. No, the guy Gary Hill that used to threaten to beat me up in junior high school only had one R, so you can't be him. Lars Shep is here. Have you heard of John Kotner? No, I haven't. Inform me, enlighten me. Um, go to the verdict and you'll see the other various pictures, but that is not the current pastor of Household of Faith. If you can't tell that's another man, please proceed immediately to an ophthalmologist. Don't go to Cohen's in the mall. You need the real high-tech person. You may have to wait for a while to get an appointment, but that is not Pastor Bob Joyce, who preaches every Sunday. We all know that. We're not stupid, or we shall. John Kotner is no way Elvis, so we got another guy now to consider. No, it's either Bob Joyce or it's nobody. It's nobody. He died in 1977. Now, I've often said and have a video, could Bob Joyce be the son of Elvis? Most people don't think so. But I did at least propose it, and have a video up on it. Debbie Pop is here. Yeah. That picture is definitely not the same man. Of course it's not. And you went this past Sunday. You want to share how your experience was at Household of Faith? Anything you observed you'd like to share? And you can do it in an email as well. Jack the Fair Guy, FAIR, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. Yeah, baby. So that's an interesting name, Larship. I'll look it up, though. I'll look him up. What the heck? Just to see how well he does as an imitator. Write that down because of my age if I don't. Stephen Garvis says John Kotner, same as Bob Joyce. Comer disappeared from YouTube. 2011, and Bob Joyce appears. That's interesting. I definitely got to look up this John Kotner now because we have no record of Bob Joyce prior to 2011. We have no record of that. And if I'm wrong, because I speak of possibilities, I could be wrong. I apologize for that. And if you can supply me proof, he died, huh? Heather says he died, John Kotner. That's a shame. I spoke to God about that and said, this death thing, Lord, I've looked into it, and it's really not for me. I'd be more than happy to wait for the rapture. And I don't think the Lord said, what makes you think you're going? Oh, I'll need an extra double portion of one. Hip Chick says they're two different people. So now we have a debate between John Kotner and Bob Joyce. But I will look that up. Will I find something? Is there material on YouTube, for example? I wonder, 107 watching. Hi, everybody. If you haven't checked in, I'd love to know where you are watching from. Do we have any people from the UK? What about my buddy from Wales? What about my friends in Australia? I know the Grand Matriarch disowned me, but other than that, there's several gentlemen that watch me there, and at least one woman that I know of. Mark Trevor is here. Are you from PA, Mark? And what part of PA are you from? How far are you from, say, Dingman's Ferry? Dingman's Ferry, how far are you from there? Huh? If you're not too far from the border that leads into Port Jervis, join us for the big street fair in July. I think it's the 10th of July, a Saturday. And Jimmy Steer will be performing, and there'll be fireworks after that. And there's other bands all day long. Vendors, etc. Is Nancy DeMarco here? I haven't seen Nancy. Nancy DeMarco. I don't know. Teresa, this could be a difficult one for me. Are you Polish, perhaps? Teresa Sespenik. See if there's a wrong way to pronounce it. I find it every time. Oh, thank you. You love the shirt. Thank you, Teresa. San Antonio, Texas. So to go over and see Karen Sven Deidre. She lives there. She used to live right here where I am, but they sold the house and she escaped. I can't seem to escape, but she did, and she lives there because her daughter's there in San Antonio. What the heck is going on in Houston, Texas? I mean, Joel Osteen lives there. The city should be protected, right? They've had so much destruction, tornadoes, and flooding and stuff like that. And this is not the first year. It happens almost every year in Houston, right? My son was explaining as the solid heat wave moves in, it causes, wild atmospheric conditions. Like he was telling me that in the current forecast was the possibility of baseball size hail. And I said, you got to get under protection there and try to hide that car too. Yeah. Is it D. John Cotner? Because there could be two, you know. But I'll be looking into that a little bit. So I'm glad everybody's here. It's coming up to midnight, gang, and I got a full day tomorrow, you know. But remember our new survey. Pastor Bob announced from the pulpit that he has recorded a big album in Nashville. Some songs have a full orchestra on it. Could be released in mid-July. What artist's name? Just give me the first name. What artist name should be on that CD? That's our poll. And we'll announce the results down the road. I don't want to commit to next Saturday. Who knows? But we'll announce the results down the road. Oh, yes, Orion. Yes, Jimmy Ellis. The thing about Orion is that some people think that Elvis Presley took his place. Orion left the stage and I think Dressed the Same came out again, but this time it was really Elvis Presley. Then he left the stage. There was an intermission or whatever, and Orion came back. I've heard that one. Now, you can't be that close-minded, Heather, if people want to talk about John Cotner. I don't think we're going to have a massive John Cotner as Elvis movement. So relax. Have a drink. Have a Yankee Doodle and some milk. You could even warm the milk up. Yeah, Orion wore a mask. He certainly did. And some feel that Elvis may have recorded a few of the Orion songs. I've heard that one too. Yeah, going by pretty quickly right now. So we've been on for 2 hours because we started at 10 p.m. If you've missed any, please watch the replay, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Whoops. Sorry, Mr. Mike. So glad you stopped by, Stephen Garvis. Thank you very much. Jimmy Ellis was adopted at birth. Let me put on me readers. Jeannie Thompson says, I believe Elvis has used many personas to release music, etc. I would tend to agree with you on that one. Genie, hey Genie, hey Genie, so in love with you. Looking at the good book. Mm-hmm. Second Timothy chapter 4, talking about the times we live in right now. Verse 3 of chapter 4 in the NIV. For the time will come when men will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. But you keep your head in all situations, endure hardship, do the work of an evangelist, discharge all the duties of your ministry. For I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. Amen. From Second Timothy. Second Timothy. But when the Lord Jesus left the earth, he left us with the Holy Spirit, who will bring to our remembrance all things if we seek him. It's a still small voice of Holy Spirit. Hi, Felicia Cooper. Felice Cooper. My favorite Presley is Riley. She's smart and talented. Yes, she is. And Running Graceland, along with Angie Baby, a special lady living in a life of fantasy. Thank you, One Hymn Chick. Always good to do that, isn't it? I have more color in my face. Sometimes I have too much color in my face. I think it's that statin, which I didn't take today. But I've also got pimples that, I think that makes me have these little pimples. So tomorrow, Karen will put makeup on me. Yeah. Also, my mustache is coming in. My white mustache, of course. Claudette. Hey, how are you, Claudette? How are you? Very glad you're here. And Cheryl says, good night, Jack. Great show. Well, thank you so much. Please watch the replay. Hello, replay crowd. Jimmy Samples. I looked John up. That heart is in the way. Is he in an Elvis movie? I can't move this up unless someone comments. Okay. He's not Elvis or Bob Joyce. He's on YouTube. I'll check him out. Great show tonight. Thank you, Kathleen Wiedenbacher. Take care, my friends, and good night. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Worldwide Ramblings. I believe we'll be joining you again soon. Say a little prayer that we continue on YouTube, which has been such a blessing to me. I mean, it's been a tough month, I have to tell you. 2 or 3 months ago, we had our biggest month ever, and we're about to have a low month. But, that's how life is. You have your ups and your downs, that kind of thing. I appreciate it when you go through our video list and watch and like the video if you like it. Doesn't have to be about Bob Joyce, any other topic that we cover. Have a great Sunday. Hope to see you in Clark, New Jersey, if you're anywhere near it, at 2 o'clock this Sunday afternoon. It's Sunday now here on the East Coast for 18-time Grammy winner Jimmy Sturr at 2 p.m. I can taste those pierogies now. I appreciate you watching. Bye, everybody.